Okay, announcements. October 1st, 2020 is a board meeting, work session, 6:30 PM in the Catherine D. Milligan Community Room, right here. And I know Mrs. O'Neill would like something else in there, so Halloween will be October 31st. So
Hopefully.
hopefully, well, it's still October 31st, whether
Yes,
there's trick or
it is.
treat is
You're right.
another question. Okay, board member comments, and we'll start with Mrs. Gundrum.
I just want to, well, one, I'd like to tip my hat to little Mr. Cummings for doing such a great job with that lemonade stand. I know I had one when I was a kid for a summer, and I think I made like $20 all summer. So he must be a great salesman, and it's amazing that he decided to donate that money instead of, buy the newest toy that, kindergartners want. I also want to thank the staff and administrators of East Elementary for the great presentation tonight and all of the hard work they're doing, and I'm sure the other schools in the district are also doing amazing work at the beginning of the school year. And I'm glad they mentioned the bus drivers, because I was thinking yesterday, my office faces the street and I see multiple buses go by every day, and I was thinking to myself, wow, look at all those kids with masks on the bus, because I know, like, once we got done with school and we got on the bus, it was sort of like a free-for-all, and the bus drivers were always wrangling us, so I think they're doing an amazing job of, at least from what I've seen, at helping kids stay with the masks until they get home.
Thank you. Mrs. Shorter?
I'll echo those sentiments. Very impressed with our little lemonade entrepreneur and his sense of community and giving and spirit. That's a wonderful story, a wonderful thing. I'd also like to thank the staff out there at East Elementary. It was a great presentation. Very happy to see the kids adjusting to this new environment. I was so glad to hear that we're not seeing any major social and adjustment issues there. So I think that's good news, and we're just going to keep moving forward and having positive thoughts and all that. That's all.
Thank you, Mrs. Shorter. Mrs. O'Neill?
I want to thank Mrs. Ogg and the rest of the team that worked on the technology implementation. It seemed from my end to happen very seamlessly and without too many hiccups. And that's a huge undertaking. And I know you and I had conversations even last year before we had voted on, just with some questions that I had. And that was prior to the pandemic, prior to all of this. And I just am so thankful that these are the decisions that were made and that the kids have the technology given the state of flux that we're in. And just personally, what a difference I've seen in my own. So my son is a senior. And so I think, the older we get, the kind of slower we are to adapt to new things. But even his rate of picking up, he's not a technology kid, but I've seen a huge leap in progress with his proficiency on the computer since getting it. And we even live in a house, with computers, but it's still different having your own device that you use for school. So it's making a huge impact, I can already see, and we're just in the very, very, very beginning stages of it. And it's such an important thing for these kids to have that literacy and know how to use technology like that. And you made it look like it was easy, and I know it wasn't, so thank you for all the hard work.
Thank you, Ms. O'Neill. Mr. Bagley?
Yeah, well, along those same lines, I want to thank Mr. McKinney and his staff for getting them into the hands of all of our
Yes.
students, for getting them here from China to begin with, and then into the hands of our students. Thank you for your efforts. I know that was a huge undertaking, and time is of the essence in a situation like this, so thank you. And I also want to thank Mrs. Ogg, a slightly different take in that as curriculum director, you're really, as I'm talking to families, you're really running almost two different schools with our hybrid model for our in-class students and then our virtual learners and the challenges that has with it. And I would just encourage our families to hang in there and continue to adapt to that and to reach out when you need help. We're here for you. And we'll do what we can to help you along the way, because I know that can feel like you're on your own out there a little bit. But I think we're doing a great job with that. And again, thanks for really developing two models for this school year to date. I think we're doing great with the hybrid model, I really do. I don't know what the future holds, but it's holding up. And I think it's just so important as Dr. Gillespie demonstrated tonight, it's so important for that face-to-face instruction and interaction. And so the hybrid model has allowed that, and that makes it a success in my eyes. I know it comes with great hardship and difficulties, but it's working. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bagley. I would agree with everything that's been said so far this evening by the board. And I just want to add what a pleasure it is to work with this board. Even if we don't agree on things, we're always very professional, always very friendly. We don't take things personal, and we work collaboratively to get things done for the district. So thank you very much for that. I do want to say thank you to the parents that are attending our sporting events, that they're following all the guidelines, we're not having any kind of issues. They understand that there's things in place, and that as long as they follow the guidelines, the kids will have the experiences. And so thank you to them for allowing it to be about the kids and for them to be able to enjoy those things. And just one more comment on Mr. Cummings. I'm just so impressed. I never had a lemonade stand when I was younger. I couldn't figure out how to get 2 quarts of water in those little envelopes, so I just was never able to do it. So congratulations to him, and again, thank you very much. Okay, at this time, there is a need to recess to executive session to discuss the discipline and employment of public employees, Ohio Revised Code 121.22G1. Is there a motion?
So moved?
Second.
Heard Mr. Begley and Mrs. Gundrum. Any questions or comments? I do not anticipate any action to follow executive session. Mrs. Lane, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Begley?
Yes.
Mrs. Gundrum?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mrs. Shorter?
Yes.
Mr. Birding?
Yes. Motion passes. We will convene to executive session at 7:25 PM. Thank you all very much and have a great night.